Good morning, YouTube. Louie here with the best silver gold deals of Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, CPI Day. Let's get going. All right, we have gold up $8 to 3,350, silver up 4 cents to 38.13. Silver, I think, wants to travel in here between this 37 and 39 range for a little while. So we had spot market 38.11. Futures market 38.54, so a healthy ratio there between spot and futures. Although I am hearing that lease prices on silver futures in London are up dramatically. If you don't know what leasing of silver is, it just allows a company to capture the silver for a period of time and buy it at a specific rate if they want to, or give it back if they don't want to. Right now, I hear they're paying 6% for the privilege of capturing the future rights to silver. In many ways, it is like leasing a car. You still get the car, but you don't have to have all the upfront money to control it. So speculation seems pretty high in silver at the moment. Gold-silver ratio 87.7, up just a tad, definitely under 90, and with potential down to 65. Okay, in the 10-year after the CPI report, it is right about flat at 4.407, actually down just a tad. Yeah, it looks like it has just dropped back down. We'll get to CPI in a minute. Dollar is down 0.04% to 98.05, so dollar a little bit weaker. In the copper market, copper continuing its run, up 2 pennies right now to 5.57. Platinum, this is platinum spot today, $13.91, up $31. Is that what that says? Let's check Kitco, see if that's correct. Platinum up $31 at the moment to $13.91. And then moving forward, the base metal ETF that I follow, DBB, is up 2 cents this morning, which has aluminum, copper, etc., base metals. All right, and into the Market Watch economic calendar, there is the CPI. And the upshot of CPI is not too different than expected. A tad hotter on the general CPI, a tad lighter ex food and energy. I'm not sure that moves the market much, except that it removes a little bit of fear that CPI would have come in very hot. It is not coming in very hot. It is only coming in just a tad warm. In the pre-market, we are in the extreme greed category in the Fear Greed Index at 76. Dow futures down 41. I thought they were up. S&P futures up 21. NASDAQ futures up 131. And Bitcoin, which seems to have decoupled from the NASDAQ, is trading, down 2,900 to 116,943. I don't know, are we going to get a sell-off today? It doesn't seem likely, but the markets are at elevated and oversold conditions. All right, but we're here to talk about silver, gold, and other stuff. Before we do, the question of the day, and this is probably relevant to everybody. The question of the day yesterday came from a channel member that asked about tax reporting. And I'm going to give you the quick answer here. I can't go too deep into it, but I often recommend buying U.S. gold to avoid tax reporting. Let's just get into that really quickly. And this is from the local coin shop's perspective, which would not be different from the big bullion dealers that you might sell to. And there are a couple things you need to know to avoid the dreaded 1099-B. Now, of course, you're obligated to pay capital gains tax on all transactions involving silver and gold. But 1099 is what notifies the IRS that you have made a transaction, and when you get one of those, you have to indicate your basis and then pay your tax on your tax return. I'm just talking about here whether or not the 1099 will be issued. So I'm going to give you the first rule of thumb here, and that is sales to your local coin shop should always be below $10,000 if you want to avoid not reporting of the 1099, but reporting to your bank. and even 9,900 or maybe even 9,000 could be reported to your bank under, let's see. I'm not going to get the regulation here, but you probably want to keep your sales under $10,000 of any precious metals if you want to avoid your bank asking a lot of nosy questions. And you can't sell, $9,000 six times to the same coin shop within 24 hours, obviously. But you could, obviously spread those out over time. Now, the other rule for 1099 reporting has to do with gold bars. All right, if you sell a kilo of gold or more of 999 fineness or better, that will initiate a 1099-B. A kilo of gold would be 30 times $90,000. And of course, your bank will ask you a question about that. But, a kilo of gold is definitely going to give you tax reporting. And 25 certain gold coins, like the gold maple, the gold Krugerrand, the gold Onza, more than 25 of those. So we're talking about very, very large sales. And but notice they didn't mention U.S. sovereign gold like the Eagles, the Buffaloes, and I think even including the gold commemoratives. There is no tax reporting on those, but there will be notice to your bank if you sell a bunch of those. Some people like the American gold because no matter what quantity they sell, it's not going to generate that 1099-B, and then you're on your honor to report on your own tax return. If you're dealing in foreign gold or gold bars, sell more than 25 of those, and you'll get that 1099-B. When it comes to silver, U.S. coins above 90%, okay, that's constitutional. Is that above 90%? Or 90% and above? I presume this is constitutional with a face value of $1,000. Of course, $1,000 face would be something like $26,000 of proceeds. So that will also generate a 1099-B. So the upshot here is maybe it doesn't matter so much what you buy as long as you keep that sale smaller when you do that, or do that over a longer period of time. But I do want you to look out for nosy inquiries from your bank when you have multiple $9,000 sales. Spread those sales out if you're going to do that, if you have a lot of metals. All right, that's all I have for you on the question of the day. Let's move forward to the deals. And moving on to the deals, we'll do a smattering of deals. The 1/100th gold is 43 over at SD Bullion. Let's move out up to a 1/10th gold eagle. That is 375 at Summit Metals. We'll do a quarter-ounce Krugerrand, 878 at Safe Haven Metals. Let's move up to a $5 commemorative. We'll check these prices on eBay later. 830 at Monument Metals this morning. A 1-ounce gold eagle is pretty good price, 33.85 at Bullion Exchanges. Brilliant uncirculated. A gold buffalo over at Safe Haven Metals is 34.87. We'll try to beat that price as well. Then moving forward here, you may want to consider the St. Gaudens Double Eagle in BU form at 33.02, 0.9675 ounces of gold there, and you can get a nicer one in the slab for about 50 bucks more. The Krugerrand this morning is at spot or right around spot at 33.62, so no problem selling a Krugerrand to your LCS, even selling two. But I don't think you'd want to sell three because I don't want those phone calls from my bank. You never know when they're going to cancel your account for reasons of their own. You can get a 20 franc in very good plus condition. I don't like that. That'll be kind of an ugly coin. 638 at Provident, best price on the internet this morning. And sovereigns are pretty reasonable. Those would be British. Platinum is just too expensive to buy here, in my opinion. So let's go on to a Silver Eagle. Way too much at $45, but you will get a 1/2 Florida gold back with every order. So there you go. If you can find something else cheap over at APMEX, you probably won't. All right, and a BU Eagle. This is a good price of 41.21 against a 38.20 spot price. So that 39. 39, 40, 41. That's only $3 over spot, more or less, for a BU Silver Eagle. Don't forget those guys. You're going to need some Eagles down the road. I do think you should have some. Circulated Eagles here, you can find that in the fine print, 41.26 at Kitco, not my favorite seller. And impaired Eagles this morning in a tube of 20 will be 40.50 at Pinehurst. Let's keep moving here. Green light is on. I'm seeing some extremely bullish sentiment from traders. I'm not talking about stackers necessarily, local coin shops, etc. It is industrial demand that is driving this move, and then speculation about industrial demand and shortfalls. And I think you're seeing a move that generally is not been reflected in the stacker community. And anybody who was going to sell, I think they probably sold already. Others are waiting for much higher prices. I suggest you consider selling between 45 and 50, and if you're waiting for higher than 50, then it will probably run to 80. But we may bounce off 50 for a period of time and go lower. So consider selling some, especially if you have some to sell, or don't if you don't want to do that. All right, the Kangaroos are $40 at bullion exchanges. The Britannias are $40 at bullion exchanges. Pretty good price on the sovereigns there. Let's keep moving here. And Army Privy Eagle, they won't take that household order limit off, will they? Over at Costco, they raised their price on silver for the first time in months. $4.19 for the PAMP bar there. Now, if you have a 2% Executive Club rebate membership and you have a good 2% rebate credit card, you get 4% off of that. Buffalo, $34.89 minus rebates, and the Rand bar, $33.99, putting you under $3,300 if you have that 4% off at Costco. Let's keep going here. Junk is right around spot over at Monument Metals, 27.7 times face, but I would opt for the Mercs here for an extra 40 cents if you're going to pay that much. But remember, before you pay over spot for junk, you can get it for well under spot on eBay and at some local coin shops. So really, if you're paying a dollar over for Mercs, you got to contrast that to something like $1 to $2 under if you just get the generic. And but Mercs are definitely a good stacker collector option there. Let's see, in a quantity of 20, Buffalo's $39.43 over at bullion.com. Golden State Mint has got 1 ounce silver, and it's not coming up. We'll skip them. Okay, let's keep going here. The Goose is still loose, and he is $83.76. Wow, price is going up on that 2 ounce Canadian Goose. A kilo this morning is out of stock. Oh, you got to be kidding me. We'll try to find that on eBay. How about the kilo Perth Mint coin? They still got that? Yep. Must be the only way they're selling these days. Collecting is really diminished quite a bit here, and Perth Mint is not what it used to be. And these coins do not carry the aftermarket value that they used to. But nonetheless, for $12.96, you'll get a kilo sovereign coin in a scratched capsule, most likely. We're on eBay. We're going to try to find a better deal on many of these things utilizing a 3% rebate credit card. Links on my website to what I recommend. Here's a pocket pinger, and that is a good idea to use that if you're out at garage sales and whatnot. You'll need a pair micrometer as well. If you're going to get some very odd foreign coins, you'll need to know the circumference, etc. And the pocket pinger is a great investment at $35. That's cheap enough in my opinion. Let's do Silver Eagles, and we'll start out probably with the ugly ones. What do we got here? 20 Silver Eagles, 2016, from a very small seller. We're going to skip you, buddy. Let's go on to Cull Eagles, 41.50, 40.40 out the door. I don't know about that. I guess that's quite a bit cheaper. Let's try to find some BU Eagles. What do you say? 839. This is a 20 lot of 2006. Wow, those are old. That is a mid-sized seller with great feedback. and 839 puts you at 42. 3% off of that would be put you at about 40.80 per eagle. That'll beat all the dealers, and look how old those are, and they look nice too. 2006, a little bit of premium on these older eagles, and this guy's got two available. So I think if you're buying eagles today and you get those at $1.50 over spot or something, 5% when you buy more. Oh look, $7.97 to buy both tubes. That's a great deal right there, and I would trust that seller. You can dig more deeply into his feedback if you like to, but that's a good deal on eagles. All right, we did our job. I did our job there. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy that one. Let's see, lot of 100 silver eagles, 42.42, and then about $1.20 off would put you at about 41 for a big lot of eagles here. And as you saw, a big lot of eagles at the dealer wasn't 41. Let's go to the BU Eagles. It was 41.22. Well, okay, you're only saving 22 cents, but I think we got a much better deal on that smaller lot, didn't we? Okay, well, 41, at the big dealer is a good deal as well. Let's keep moving here. Let's go on past the Eagles and move on to the rotation. 25 Maples as cheap as $1,040. 25 Britannias as cheap as $9.95 or best offer, but I think there's something wrong with that deal. $20. And these, are they any good? You're spotted. Okay, those are spotted maples, so that would be $9.95 plus 20 would be, well, let's say you got it for $1,000 after your best offer. $1,000 for spotted maples would be $38.80. That puts you just a little over spot. And same deal, I think, as yesterday, but spot has come down a bit, and hopefully it comes down a little bit more. Let's keep going here for a tube of kangaroos. Kangaroos, $1,045. Tube of Krugerrands, $1,049. Oh my gosh, well, we're off the chart, huh? Oh my God, we're up over $40 here. Yeah, only those ugly maples be the only thing I might want to melt, actually. Let's see, let's do junk in the trunk here. Oh, I got to go back and do the Philharmonics. I always skip those. Philharmonics as cheap as $8.23. That'd be $41.15 or about $40 out the door. So that's about $1.50 over spot for BU Philharmonics. Philharmonics a little out of favor these days. A small lot of junk, and we want $10 face here to offset the seller's shipping fees. And circulated dimes. I like dimes over quarters. And there you go. Why is that so cheap? Big seller, pretty good feedback. $268 with shipping. They are rosies. They look fine. $268 on our cheat sheet. Hold. All right, let's just do the math on 26.8. 26.8 times face divided by 0.715 gives you a melt of 37.48 on this deal here. So well below spot. And dimes, I like dimes better than quarters. I also like halves, of course, and I like mercury dimes the best. Let's keep going here. That was a good deal on junk. There may be several there. How about a large lot? I don't think it'll be that good. You want dates, and you don't want them to be slick. And let's go with this one right here, $27.91, and then out the door that'd be about $27.10 or 20 times face. So the big lot more expensive than the small lots. People have been cleaning up on those small lots. They're just like a lot of people think, silver is topping here. There's a good deal of selling, which there always is. But personally, I don't think so. But I can understand why people are ringing the cash register. And if they take this silver into their LCS, they might get $2-3 back a spot for it. So it's creating a good dynamic to purchase junk from mid-sized sellers on eBay. Just avoid those zero feedback sellers. Okay, and we'll skip the Carson Cities and the Morgans. Go to a kilo. A kilo can be had for $12.77, and then on that one you take about $40 off. You'd be at about $12.40 on a kilo. What would 1240 be? 1240 divided by 32.2, I think it is. 38.50, right around spot on a kilo. Let's see, and that's random. Can you get a nice one? Random. Nah. Okay, but still, silver is silver. How about your vintage bar of the day? This could be in better shape. I'm not saying it's the most beautiful vintage bar, but that is an authentic A-Mark bar, 10-ounce A-Mark bar, USVI. 415 is pretty decent price on that. And if you bought that, you would have the actual silver that the Hunt brothers captured, flew to Switzerland. Then after they had their legal problems, flew it back, gave it to A-Mark to melt into these bars and a lot of other bars as well. So that is a piece of history right there. All right, and cheapest kilo kook this morning is $13.25. Ouch. How about a 1 ounce? A large lot of 1 ounce rounds, $39.50, about $38.40 out the door. You can't beat that with a 3% rebate credit card. Okay, and we'll get to those credit cards in a minute. In a small lot, cheapest deal is this one's still here at $7.99. It's a big seller with pretty good feedback. They are Merry Christmas rounds. You get 20 of them, and they are 49 silver. Maybe people think these are fake. I don't know. I don't know who makes those. And unusual to see vintage 49 silver. Maybe somebody knows something about those that I don't, but that is very cheap. Let's see. Otherwise, you're going to pay 800 for, let's see, these are random design, tube of 20, and are they secondary? They are circulated. Okay, secondary rounds here at $40 a round, about 39 out the door, about 50 cents over spot. So no problem picking those up either. The Scottsdale Cowboy is going for $41.25, about $40 out the door for the Scottsdale Cowboy. Did you see those premiums just evaporate on these things? They're worth more than you paid, but the premium is compressing, as it is on many collector coins, even vintage bars. A 100-ounce bar, which is what happens when spot price goes up. People start looking for the cheapest possible silver because premiums start to collapse when that happens. Strickland bar is still here. Yeah, nobody wanted that. And that'd be about $3,800 out the door. That's a vintage bar, and that is a known bar, not likely a fake. Nobody wants it, huh? But LCSs are paying up for 100-ounce bars, just like they are for 1-ounce rounds. Okay, let's move on to a 1 gram gold. That is as cheap as 120 minus 3%. Let's go on to a 1/10 random gold. 1/10 random gold, 361 if it's in stock. Yes, 361, $10 off. It puts you at about 3,500 melt on those 1/10 ounce gold coins. They must be circulated. But, you know, we're on the cheap end of the spectrum here. Let's move up to a 1/4 ounce gold eagle. You can get that for $900 minus 3%. A 10 gram gold bar is, I didn't fix that again. 1/2 ounce gold, random gold. When I say the ugly head coins, I mean the first spouse coins. It's just, where are they? I just don't, and there are some other commemoratives in there. I've had the Mark Twain before. There are some decent commemoratives in there as well, but the first spouse coins are just, maybe you'll get Jackie O, but you probably won't. You'll probably get, you know, something else. Anyway, this is not something I want. There's nothing wrong with the gold. Okay, 1771 for a random coin. And let's see, after rebates, you'd be at about 1740, which would be about 3480 melt. There's a Panda with abrasions, no thank you. There's a Krugerrand at 1778, again about 1740 out the door. Let's see if we can do better on bigger gold. Let's do, gold eagles have been very cheap lately, so I don't know that we can beat that here. Here is a gold eagle for $34.97, and that would be under 3,400 out the door. No, the dealer beats that price. Let's see if we can find a 1.85 ounce proof set. Prices came down a little bit on that. $65.96 on that one. You would take $200 off. Yeah, it'd be about a push with the dealer there. Okay, and let's do a $5 commemorative. Let's see if we can get a good deal on that. BGASC will not take down their listing, even though it's out of stock. Creeps. So you got to go to $8.49 on that commemorative. Was there free shipping? Yeah. Oh, it's a smaller seller. I won't mess around with that, but that's pretty cheap on that $5 US commemorative. And oh, there are some other ones here. Ooh, $8.49. Ooh, what do we got here? A 2-coin set. I like those. Very nice. Big seller, good feedback. He'll take a best offer. I haven't seen one of these come up for a long time. So what you do is you make an offer on this. You get this nice silver dollar here, which is like a 0.8 or a 0.7 or something like that, ounce of silver, which is $30 or so. And then that means you get the gold at a substantial discount. Oh, wow, he's got 2 of these, and he already sold one. This is a good deal here. I don't even have to do the math on that. The silver is not terribly valuable. You'd be lucky to get spot for that. Let's see if that gold is scratched. It doesn't even matter, guys. That's U.S. sovereign gold. That is 0.241 ounces of gold. And here you're getting a free silver dollar in with the mix, and he'll take a best offer. But if he won't take less than $8.49, I would just buy that. And you'll have silver and gold. Okay, and the Big Daddy 50 peso is $41.82 and 1.2 ounces of gold in that. Very nice, good price after rebates. Let's keep moving here. Here's some stuff in my eBay store. If you see something you like, ask me for a friend discount. The bars I pour, if you're looking for one of those. And a precious metals verifier, vacuum sealer, and a way to melt those giant bars into shot. I recommend the Amex card, 3% cash back when you check out through PayPal. Also works at Amazon, works at the grocery store. I recommend the PayPal card, unlimited cash back when you check out through PayPal. Okay, which you can do at Walmart, for example, and also at the U.S. Mint if you're buying a bunch of Superman coins. Hook up your PayPal account to your U.S. Mint account. The Quicksilver card has kicker deals that will give you an extra 4% off on eBay for something like that precious metals verifier. I just got my Saver card from Capital One, which is 3% cash back at the grocery store with a bonus that they pay you after you spend a few bucks. That way I can save my American Express card for precious metals. Having a $6,000 limit means you have to be very careful how you use that Amex card. The Saver card is virtually unlimited for groceries, so that's a great card there. 0 fees, and I just got that one. And I'm getting my Alliant Credit Union credit card back on track. 2.5% rebates on that card with a lot of conditions, but you may want to consider the Alliant Credit Union if you're looking for a 2.5% anywhere cashback credit card. Okay, and I'll skip the picks of the day and move on to the commendations and salutations. Thank you very much for the cups of coffee. I do appreciate you guys. Just click that link if you want to buy me a cup of coffee or join my YouTube membership channel. If I can do anything for you, I certainly will. And you can click this link, or you can go to the top of the description box. There'll be a way to join the membership channel there. And you can always reach me at losinglouis@yahoo.com. Don't forget the chat room. Good stuff going on there. And we'll check spot price one more time. I think we're going to have a quiet day today. And I think we're just going to stay in this range. Here's gold is now down 50 cents. I think we're going to stay in this range. What I would do is just watch the 37s. If you can get a buy in the 37s, then you'll be setting up for the next rally pretty well. But I think the dip buyers are going to rush into silver if we get in the 37s. If we get to 37 or 36s, then the rally could be over for a while, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, you guys have a great day. Don't forget the thumbs up. If you have a friend that's paying too much, go ahead and share this video with them and share it on social media, and subscribe if you want to see more. I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.